There were a lot of surprises in the 2021 NFL Draft, the least of which was who was going to be taken number 1 overall, and even less who was going to be the starter for the Jaguars in 2021. The answer to both those questions is Trevor Lawrence, but when rookies come in to start, it usually means a player is getting their spot taken. And in the Jaguars' case, it happens to be a countrywide favorite player in Gardner Minshew. He captivated the NFL fans across the country with his mustache, his mullet, and his jean shorts, and he broke every mold of what you expect a clean-cut, proper talking starting NFL quarterback to be. He had a quote saying that he hadn't taken a shit in 2 weeks because number 2 isn't even an option for him. But clearly Trevor is going to be the starter, and I know his comments are funny, and this is what he believes from a competitor's point of view, but I think he knows very well where he stands on the totem pole. But in today's video, we need to look Minshew as a player, what he did with his time in Jacksonville, and see if he got a proper chance to showcase his abilities, and if he deserves another chance to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And if he does, where? Gardner Minshew finished his college days at Washington State, and in this year, he led the entire FBS in passing completions with 433 and in passing attempts with 613. He was second in passing yards with 4,477 and top 5 in touchdowns. He broke the Pac-12 single-season record for passing yards and won Pac-12 Player of the Year, along with nation's best senior quarterback, and he led his team to an 11-win season. But that was only good enough to get him drafted in the 6th round by the Jaguars in 2019, and he made his debut after Nick Foles got hurt, and he went for 22 for 25 with 275 yards and 2 touchdowns. He would go on to have a decent season with 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and a 6-6 record with the 12 games he started, and he broke multiple rookie Jaguar quarterback records. In his second season, it was anything but conventional, but he led them to get the number 1 overall pick. He was on the COVID reserve list, but came out for week 1 and beat the Indianapolis Colts, playing through a fractured thumb and a strained ligament in his thumb, which got too bad that he had to be replaced a few games before returning for the rest of the season, but unfortunately he couldn't get them any more wins. He finished the season with 16 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, had a 66% completion percentage, and a 1-7 record as a starter. However, he was on pace to throw for 32 touchdowns and over 4,500 yards. So that's what he's accomplished in the league so far. But now we need to start looking at him as a player in the context of his situation and ask, did he get a fair shot? The first thing I need to say about his game is he takes care of a football. When you have a quarterback where almost every drive ends in a kick, whether it's a PAT, a field goal, or a punt, that has to go in the pros category, because quarterbacks, no matter how talented they are, can throw you right out of games with costly turnovers. And I brought up what he did in college because he can obviously tell he is a super talented thrower of the football. For not being the biggest guy, he has a huge arm and he can make some very difficult throws look super easy. He had very good back shoulder fade, he stands in the pockets and delivers strikes, but he also has the legs to move around in the pocket even though he has less than average straightaway speed. My favorite plays that I've seen from him are the ones where he improvises and makes something out of nothing, and he can also bomb the ball downfield off of one leg like a throw like this. He is a great leader by example, and from everything I've heard, he's a great locker room guy and just everyone loves to be around him. But now we have to look at his situation in Jacksonville. And it's really hard to point to Minshew for all the Jaguars' struggles. He was doing a lot for what he had in a bad O-line, a less than average receiving core, and he didn't have a ton of help from a Saxonville-like defense that they had in the past. He battled through injury and coming off the bench, but he went out there every single week and made a ton of plays and did everything he could to try and help his team win. And more so in his rookie year, we saw him 3 times take his team on game-winning drives and deliver in the biggest moments. If we were to put a lot of different quarterbacks in this situation, of course the elite quarterbacks would do better, but there are a lot of people who couldn't have the individual success that he did. Football is the team of all team sports, and it's hard for one person to carry a team. Actually, it's impossible. So am I saying that Trevor should have to compete to win the starting job? No. Trevor is wildly talented and one of the best college prospects we have ever seen, and his ceiling is far past Minshew's. But should he get another shot as a starter? And where I stand on that is very complicated, because in the tier ranking of where I see him as a talent and players alone, Gardner Minshew is a very interesting spot. He's in a category I like to call not better than the veterans, but also doesn't beat the upside of younger rookie top tier talents. These are guys like Nick Foles, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Josh McCown, and now Andy Dalton, also known as NFL Journeyman, or the duct tape solution for NFL teams all around the league. He's on such a short list because it's a really hard spot to be in. Looking around the league and looking at all the teams, we have our top quarterbacks like Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady, Russ, Lamar, Josh Allen, Dak, Stafford, and then we have the young studs with a ton of upside like Trevor Lawrence, Kyler, Justin Herbert, Justin Fields, etc. But we have a live arm quarterback who doesn't turn the ball over. And so Jacksonville is super fortunate to have him as their backup right now because he is one of, if not the best backups in the entire league right now. But look at Andy Dalton, because he left to go be a backup to Dak, and now he's the placeholder for Justin Fields. Ryan Tannehill is a placeholder for Washington's next franchise guy, but in his career, he's played for a ton of teams as a backup, got the chance to be a starter for rebuilding teams, and when he came in, he was able to learn the system quickly and play really high quality football. And teams do take a step down from their elite quarterback, but they can still win key games. Just as an example, how bad do you think Indianapolis wishes they had Gardner Minshew right now? They're going from Carson Wentz to Jacob Eason. The Colts team with their O-line and their running game could still win a ton of games with Gardner, but now they could fall out of playoff picture if Wentz takes too long to come back. And that's where I see him. I love him as a player and even more as a person, but I see him being in the mold as being a quarterback for struggling franchises or a backup to elite quarterbacks on contending teams. Ryan Fitzpatrick has been very open in accepting his role, and he probably has the best real estate agent in the world, and they've probably made millions off his moves alone. I could be very wrong because we only have such a small sample size, and he might grow a lot as a player if he gets another chance in a better situation, but as of now, this is where I see him, and I think Andy Dalton has accepted this new role as well, and he's going to sign a one-year contract and will probably be on another team next year for a more fitting situation. And when I came into making this video, I had a very open mind. I wanted to check the film, I wanted to check the stats, I wanted to see, because I didn't know, maybe he did deserve another spot. But once I went through the list of all the NFL teams and who they have as their quarterback, it's really, really hard to find him in a place that doesn't have a young, promising quarterback, or they don't have an elite veteran or someone that's going to be their staple quarterback for a long time. So the NFL journeyman, they're few and far between, but I see Gardner coming in and doing this well. Just the fact that he can take care of the ball, he can play high quality football, but he's just not on the highest level, or he doesn't have the highest ceiling of these other quarterbacks. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like this video if you like videos like these. Comment down below what you think of Gardner Minshew. I absolutely love him as a person. I think he could go in and fit into any locker room, and as we saw in his rookie year, he was able to learn their system very quickly. I think that's going to be huge for him if he's going to have to go in and be the duct tape solution for a team, or he's going to back up a starting quarterback, and if they go down, then he'll be like the duct tape solution until they get back from injury. Or if a team's rebuilding, like let's say if he was the Lions quarterback right now, I know Jared Goff is very good, but if Gardner Minshew, I feel like he could kind of like get them through that process until they find their next guy, whether it's like Spencer Rattler, if the Lions go out and get a veteran guy. But let me know what you guys think, and make sure to subscribe. It really helps out the channel a ton. I appreciate all you guys' support. Thank you guys so much for checking out the channel, and as always, I will see you tomorrow. Peace.